Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I wanted to ask about, you were talking about the parallels between the stereotypes of Islam and the stereotypes of hip hop, and I wanted to ask about how you would address the way both of them sort of have the similarity of moving from one negative to escape the negative, have sort of moved into an extreme other. Like for hip hop, it started with a lot of people in poverty, like you said, a lot of people who didn't have anything, and now a lot of the music seems to be about what they do possess money and power and women and liberty from law. And it's sort of been rather than what about like they have made for themselves, they've taken from others. And for Islam, there's sort of this escape from the idea of terrorism and over-extremism and over-stifled, closed-minded religiousness. And people have sort of gone the extreme and moved into someone else's form of progress, of modernism, rather than developing our own, and how you sort of address that.
MashaAllah. That was really beautiful and well said. And yeah, the first thing that comes to my heart is that the beautiful teaching of our Prophet ﷺ, that to always be in the middle, ummatan wasata, that we're supposed to be a middle nation and go away from extremes. And he said it in different ways too. And you know, he was against like extreme asceticism, you know, like the idea of being a monk and totally rejecting the world. He was like, okay, we should have time for that. Go into seclusion, fast during Ramadan and fast extra days, but also eat and enjoy the world and do you know what I mean? And yeah, like you say, within Islam, we see now there's a lot of people that are, you know, on the extreme as far as just, you know, the violence and even just like, you know, really just being closed off and wanting to be closed off from other people and being very like fundamentalist, you might say. And then on the other, you have people that are like totally assimilating and like, say, forget tradition. And we are at a difficult place because there has to be wisdom and I think the true tradition is to be able to negotiate the present tense, right? The Prophet ﷺ said every nation, every 100 years rather, there will be a reviver, mujaddid, who will be sent to revive this deen, which means that every 100 years something is lost. And of course, it doesn't mean the outward prayer is lost, but it means that people maybe forget how to contextualize it. Right? There's the non-negotiables, and then there's the negotiables. And it's hard sometimes to know, because the extremes are, you just become extremely liberal, and it's like, whatever, Islam is whatever I say it is, or feel it is, right? And on the other thing, you become totally attached to the traditional form. You say, this is how it was done back then, we can't even think about doing anything else. And those are both, that gets kind of calcified. And the other one, you're just going to get swept away with any wind that comes. So it needs wisdom and it needs hikmah. And also with hip hop, you mentioned, yeah, there are extremes, you know, and I think the goal for us is just to be the people of the middle path and to try to like set that example in ourselves and in our families and in our communities and to manifest that so that we can help, you know, shine a light and serve as an example for people, inshallah. But I'd be interested also in what you have to say, because I think you've thought about this a lot by your question. Do you have anything to add? Alhamdulillah. Thank you.